Hey everyone, I want to do a quick update on the markets because we're in a very interesting slash weird slash uncertain spot. And I've seen a lot of mixed comments online. So I just gonna go over my thoughts, my positioning currently, and what I'm planning to do in the next weeks and actually the next few days, because I believe we'll probably kind of see some moves in the coming few days. So first of all, obviously we can start with Bitcoin. And yesterday was a big red day. So we had a big red candle here. You can see it closed just above this mid-range of this, big range that we're here already feels like forever. But this is nothing for now, at least, to be worried about. If we zoom out, this is just a retest after a move up and a retest of the top of the range. Now we're just coming back to the mid-range. And the sentiment here flipped very quickly into bearish over Twitter, over Discords, and pretty much everywhere I look for sentiment gauges. However, technically, we're pretty much still at the top of the range or at the mid of the range. We have pretty strong support here around 66K with the 100 daily moving average, with the mid range here level. And it's kind of good. The market doesn't look like it's ready to dump just yet. And if we go to the weekly, you see exactly the same pattern. We're just pretty much chopping, and we're still within this range. And nothing major has really happened to price for the past. So we were at the same level on March, in the beginning of March. So that's already 3 months of chop. And this tends to exhaust people, myself included. I'm also going to share with you like how I personally feel and what's like my inner process of controlling my emotions. But you can see we've pretty much not done that much for 3 months, and in crypto land this feels like forever, and that's why people are like going nuts over a 4 or 5% move to the downside. But just getting back to the daily, this is pretty much my plan. So in previous videos, I mentioned that I don't want us really to go below this level. So if we go down to like 65, 64, I don't want us to spend a lot of time there. If we do, in my opinion, this means that quite possibly we could go and test the range low. And we don't know what's going to happen there, obviously, but I think the likelihood if we see something like this and potentially like this, with several different factors, it's going to be a high probability that this range low could break. Same, of course, is for the top of the range. So if we simply just hold this level, maybe chop around here for several more weeks, and start testing again the top of this range, this will be probably like the most bullish scenario. So we gotta see how this will play out. I'm not really making any major changes right now. I already did a few changes. We're gonna go over them. But it's very simple in my opinion. We just look at this level, and if it holds or if we reclaim it, I would say we get high probability retest at 71, 72K again, which with so many tests, I think could be the catalyst for breaking. So just look at these retests here already. It's been definitely tested more times than the downside. Uh, so yeah, in simple terms, we're pretty much in the range until we're not in a range. Ethereum looks a little bit choppier. And I've done some research here on the ETF because everyone's expecting kind of the ETF to bail out the crypto market. I'm not sure this is going to happen in the coming months. I was thinking that potentially this will happen like 2 or 3 weeks after the approvals were already confirmed. However, there's a completely different process happening right now compared to the Bitcoin ETFs. And Ethereum is still missing the so-called S1 approvals, which could go back and forth with the SEC, and this could take few months to play out. So generally speaking, this could line up with the thesis that during the summer, we have a slowdown on the markets. We probably are not going to get the approvals and the ETF started trading during the summer, or at least the first part of the summer. So this could just mean we chop the hell out of everybody in the next few months. And my play here for Ethereum is just to wait and see, because we're kind of starting to see the first signs of weakness. So we haven't really had a deep retracement yet. So we're at 0.5 right now. And also the daily 100-day moving average, same as Bitcoin, is holding as support. But as you can see, there's not such clean range on Ethereum, on the daily chart at least. And it's really hard to kind of draw clean levels. So I would say if this breaks here, that we're the level that we are right now at 3.5K, I believe this is the next major level, so around 3.2K. And if we start getting down there, I think there will be a lot more pain to come, either through the form of chop or through pure bleeds against Bitcoin and especially altcoins. So I'm probably seeing a bounce right now, and I believe my gut tells me that we're gonna bounce at least a little bit after this leg. So from the last pivot high to the low, we're down 11-12%. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bounce somewhere into here at least. And this, if this level keeps and we fail to kind of make a new high here, I would be more of the camp that maybe we'll go lower. And actually, I will be willing to cut off a bit of my Ethereum exposure, because I do have significant already Ethereum back, especially with my farming backs, and I could easily go in cash heavier compared to what I am right now. Although right now I just calculated I'm around 35 to 40% in cash, because I've made some changes as I mentioned, and we want to discuss them. But I can see myself going even heavier into cash during the summer, just because there are kind of no obvious plays right now, and the charts just don't scream as trade setups to me, at least. So that's why I've been more of the mode of not taking so many trades, but consolidating positions, removing laggards, and just overall taking a step back and really looking at the market overall and trying to find my edge again, because since the beginning of the year, pretty much I've been flat on my P&L. So Bitcoin on the 12-month has been up 60%, and at some point it was up even more. And my personal portfolio, when it comes to just pure crypto outside of ordinals and runes, is pretty much flat, because I've been vocal about this. I've been making bets on altcoins that haven't played out. Some of them are big winners, like Ondo. Some of them are big losers. I still haven't cut them, but they're still big losers, like Big Time, Manta. And yeah, let's go over them. And we're going to discuss what my plan is for each one of them. So Ondo, pretty much I took some profits. I took about 50% of the position off the table. This is a healthy place to take profit, in my opinion. I was probably one of the first people to start talking about Ondo vocally, and I was buying this early breakout. Then I added to the position here, and I've been just patiently sitting on my backs. On average, I was up like over 3x. Then it looked like I'm selling here and it just ripped, but now price is retracing, and potentially this level could hold if we get a bounce and if we get another leg up. But ideally, I want to buy it back lower. So I want to buy back at this key level around the dollar. And if we see something like this, so price comes back here into the all-time high, and we fail to make new highs and hold, I'll be willing to kind of cut the position here also, and just look for better entry, because it's very simple math pretty much. What I was trying to do here, like if we make a new high, there will probably be another entry somewhere on a breakout or something, so I can still add size, and I'm risking about, let's say, 6 to 10%. But if we're failing to break a new high, I would say we go down into this area here, which is 20% down, maybe even 30% down. So, it's a trade I'm willing to take when it comes to taking profit. So just how I approach this and what you could also be looking into for your own back. I sold trade. This is another real world asset play. I should have taken more profit here. I didn't, but still made some money on this. But yeah, I'm just looking for a re-entry here because I do like this project. Now it's at the lows here where I initially entered, but I'm just going to be very patient with this one, especially in the environment that we are in for ads. So yeah, just a couple of real world asset plays. Jito, I mentioned that I was having a DCA on Jupiter somewhere in this area. So my cost average is around 3.6, 3.5 bucks. Not as big of a position size as before. I've made some good money on this one, but now it's testing another crucial level here on the weekly. You can see it a little bit better. But I'm still holding, but if we bounce again, same principle as ETH, and we don't see continuous strength, I'm willing to cut this one out and just wait for a better entry. We've had 4 straight weeks of red. In general, the Solana narrative is kind of losing its juice because of Ethereum, but the entire market might lose the juice. So, I just want to be careful. Again, I can also add lower. I think this will do well in a potential bull run. But if I see a weakness somewhere here, I'll probably just cut the position and look for a re-entry. Because technically, this could all be a massive range that is just starting to form. It could take, as I said, the summer to play out, and maybe we do something like this, and then start, creeping back into the highs. This could set up for a nice breakout, potentially down the line. We don't know, of course, but that's what I'm not really worried of cutting any positions right now. Big time is right at pretty much the lowest point it's ever been. No bounce on this one. I was DCing somewhere in this area, then I bought some here at the support. I was actually thinking might as well just buy a bit more here since I'm already deep into this position. The thesis hasn't played out. It's been really painful to watch this, especially that I missed a move here. The big move. I made some quick bucks here, but that was like 20-30%, and then this happened. And I missed the entire move. But if it bounces, it should be from here. This is my opinion. And if we, no, it's just an area. It's not exactly from this price or that price. But if we don't, I'm just gonna take the hit, cut my losses, and just look for a better chart or better entry on big time, because this has looked horrendous, honestly. Just look at this. The weekly, even worse. Super choppy, no bounces whatsoever after a massive sell-off. So yeah, one of the losers that I'm still holding. Manta, similar story. Here I've left you my entry here. Again, at key support, will it go another leg down or not? We'll see. I'm waiting for this to play out, and if it doesn't really bounce, again, I'll cut it and fuck off. I'm staking some Manta or whatever. I'm providing it as liquidity for potential airdrops, but it's not a significant position, so I'll probably cut this. STG, I'm a bit salty I didn't sell more here. It was such an obvious play, and I even more salty that I didn't short it, because on the lower time frames there is a really nice short setup here. But I pretty much sold the top of this wick. Most of my position is out. However, I had some STG tokens locked. Now they're unlocked. And I'm just really waiting to see when layer 0 will do the airdrop, and I'll probably just cut this position out, although it does look like an accumulation chart. But again, we could just enter on reversal and shows of strength, and this could take quite a few months. And honestly, it's been a toll managing all these positions in altcoins, especially when they're underperforming the market. It's been a mental toll, and I just maybe want to just take a break, from all of this shit and reposition when I believe the market is better, or if we see lower patterns that are accumulating, or maybe we see some new tokens, because this has been out already for well over 2 years, actually almost 2 years. So maybe this will not be the biggest winner that I've expected, although I still like the overall fundamentals. We'll see. So yeah, these are the major ones. I probably need to do a separate video on track. It's been a very big learning lesson for me personally. I'm still holding the entire position here. But yeah, I'll probably just do a mental journal, and I'm just gonna share it with you guys because we fall victims to some of our biases, and this one is a big one for me. I'm still in profit, but yeah, it doesn't feel good how I manage the entire thing. Just a few charts that I'm kind of looking into. One of them is Carrot. This is a new chart. It's on Binance. This is the coin behind My Pet Hooligan. They've launched. They have a lot of support. A lot of influencers are sharing them, and it's probably the cleanest chart and the most bullish chart you'll see. And I'm currently not actively looking for an entry, but if Bitcoin decides to, break out, maybe we see strength and we break out, this is one on my watch list that I'm trying to keep an eye on and potentially maybe getting a position because this is a gaming play, it's an AI play, it's a lot of kind of plays in one, and I just like the chart, so it could be setting up for a good run down the line. And of course, we cannot disregard stuff like Bonk, which is kind of hanging at support. It's bouncing, and it's been generally strong. The other day when everything was dumping, it was only Bonk, Pepe, and Ondo on my watch list that was green. So Bonk, maybe you can argue that there's a trade somewhere around here, so 12% risk for, let's say, we talk all-time highs, like 45% gain, but I'm not willing to take too much risk right now. So even if I choose a position like this, I will go down to the lower time frames, look for clues if this is going to break out of this little accumulation here, and maybe take a smaller size position on it because it's a bit sketchy out there, especially when we have the CPI today, and there's a lot of uncertainty on the broader markets, and there's a lot of talks about potential recession during the summer, even if it's not that big one. It's still in the cards, and I've been talking about this for months and months and months. So if this happens, it could line up perfectly with more chop for crypto during the summer, and then potentially a resolution during September, October, November, and early next year, which again will be in line with previous cycles. So we're not out of the ordinary right now. We were actually too early to make new all-time highs, but previous cycle, we really started breaking out, out of this entire zone here in October, November of 2020. And then we really saw the real move that I was expecting for alts to start pumping, which obviously hasn't played out really. But I think consolidation in general is good. As long as we don't puke below 60K, I think we're still all right. But I'll be a lot more cautious if we start closing below 65K. So yeah, these are my thoughts. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you around.